So, something different today. I wanted to do something that wasn't an unboxing or, anything mental. And as you see, I have a furry friend with me. He's not going anywhere, so we're just sat here. So I just wanted to talk about me, really. The thing that's been, well, the biggest part of my life in the last 2 years was I've been on a weight loss journey. I've been big all my life. Used to get bullied at school, all the things you can think of. They used to call me. They used to shake when I walked past, pretending I was causing an earthquake. I had things thrown at me. I had anything, you name it, they did it to me, basically. And I was physically and mentally abused most of my school life, and I just thought that was normal. That was what I was here for, that's that. I tried several times during my life to to lose weight. I did all the diets under the sun. When I was 30, I thought, right, this is it, this is the time I'm going to. And I did the Atkins diet, which is, low carb, basically. So high fat, high protein, low carb, which is great. I did lose weight. The weight practically dropped off me. But obviously once you go back, that's it. I believe now at this stage in my life, when I've gone through the journey that I have, that bread was a big problem for me. I think once I cut out bread and became really serious, that's when things turned around. So when you look back at before, when I did the Atkins diet all those years ago, and I cut bread out completely, that was why it was such a success. And obviously, once I went back to bread, that's when it all fell apart again, and all the weight that I had taken off, went straight back on and more, which meant that's why it became such a problem for me. Here's a little slideshow of how I used to be. So what was it that turned it around this time? I think partly it was due to my friend Brian. He's Two-Spirit. If you look down there, there's a link to his YouTube too. He went on a great journey himself, and after he too had a long time struggling with his weight, the light bulb seemed to just click for him. And seeing what he did, seeing how well he got on, and sharing some of the meals that he actually had, made me suddenly think that actually, it wouldn't be such a hard thing. If he can do it, And if he can eat all this wonderful food and lose weight at the same time, then I can do it. I'm going to show you in a minute here. That's the picture that turned it round for me. Seeing that just made me think, oh, you know, I couldn't even bear to look at myself basically in that picture, and I just thought, no, I don't have to be that person. So I did the hardest thing that for anybody who's struggling with their weight and wants to make a change. I actually walked into a Slimming World group one night, didn't know anybody there, didn't go with a friend, didn't know the consultant, hadn't really spoken to anybody, didn't tell anybody what I was planning to do. I just walked into that group that night, and that's the day it changed 2 years ago. I'd like to say that it was a struggle, and honestly it took me a year to lose 5.5 stone, and it didn't seem hard at all. I didn't stop eating. I stopped eating certain foods. I was a complete chocoholic before. I used to go into Tesco on the way home from work, and they always have chocolate deals, obviously, and you could buy 3 bars of chocolate for £1.20. So I'd buy those 3 bars of chocolate and say, well, that's one for each night, tonight, tomorrow and the day after. What was that? Who does that, really? Because, you know, by the time you go to bed that night, they're all gone. I've eaten them all, because I couldn't just have one. So I stopped that. I stopped eating chocolate. No chocolate, no biscuits, no sweets, no nothing. Up until the Christmas time. At that first Christmas 2015, I did allow myself to have, you know, some treats, but I did all the other right things at the same time. So over that first Christmas, over the 2 weeks, the Christmas and the New Year period, I actually managed to lose £5. Everybody thought it was amazing. I thought it was amazing, really, because I knew down inside that I'd still treated myself. It was like, well, how did I manage that? But it's because I treated myself, but I did all the other right things as well. So I allowed myself a little bit for one day, and then one day, I think, Christmas Day, and then New Year's Eve day, and then I was straight back on it. And that's why, because I was so strong-willed, I knew this is what I wanted. And when I got that 5.5 stone certificate, I was like, looking back, thinking, oh my God, look at this, look at me. And that is what I do to keep myself motivated. I regularly do transformations, you know, then and now. And a lot of people around me, people who've known me all my life, people who've known me for years, say that they can't even remember now that person from before. When we look at pictures from 3-4 years ago, and they're saying, I don't even remember you being like that. This is me, this is the new me. I have a little bit further to go. I've lost around 5.5 stone. I do have a little bit more, I'd say about 2 stone left to go, until I'm very happy, until I'm, you know, ready to say that's it now, I'm where I want to be. A lot of people say to me now, well, you look great, surely you're where you want to be now, and I'm not happy with this. Don't ask me why, because obviously I'm not, you know, back in those days, that day when I first walked into Slimming World, I was wearing size 26, 28 clothes. Now I'm wearing a size 14. I never could have imagined myself wearing size 14 skinny jeans, but, you know, now I know I can get here, I know I can do more. So it's not good enough for me. Size 12 will be. Size 12 is my target. My consultant at Slimming World keeps saying to me, you haven't given me a target, you haven't given me a target. And that's because size 12 is my target. I know we've got to measure in some way. So the Slimming Club measures your success in the weight that you've lost. And yeah, that's fine. But to me, when you walk down the street, yeah, people can see you're big. People can see your size, but you don't know. They don't know how heavy you are. They know what you look like. People see me and say how much I've changed, how skinny I am, although I hate that word. When people say to me, look how skinny you are, that's what matters, not the weight, not, you know, they don't come up to you and pick you up and say, oh, you've lost a few pounds. It's not. So to me, it doesn't really matter what it says on the scales, because I'm not going to go around with a big thing around my neck saying I am 13 stone, 12 stone, 10 stone, or whatever. I'm just going to look good in my size 12 jeans. So that's my aim. I have struggled since Christmas, going back to that first Christmas and how well I did. You know, you can't do that every time. The more weight you lose and the nearer you get to your target, or, you know, the smaller you get, the harder it is, because your body's thinking, well, you know, I've done it, I've lost all this weight, I'm not doing any more. I know I can do more and I know I will do more, but it is harder. You have to be really strong, and sometimes I don't seem to have the willpower that I had before. But, you know, it took so long to put the weight on, really, that I don't mind. I'm quite happy now, and I'll struggle, you know, but I'm having fun. I'm enjoying myself. I'm doing things that I haven't done before. I'm feeling more confident. I'm feeling happy. I can go shopping. I can go and try on clothes in Primark. You know, I can even just walking through a restaurant, where before I'd have had to go all the way around the outside because I couldn't walk down through the tables, because I couldn't get my big old fat body through. But now I can. I don't even have to squeeze and breathe in and ask people to move. I can just slide right through. And even those little things, they make all the difference. And, you know, that to me, I mean, in 3 weeks' time, I'm flying out to Germany. I'll be able to just get on the plane, sit down in the seat, put the seatbelt on. Before, I had to, you know, squeeze my big old hips between the armrests and ask for a seatbelt extender. I don't have to do that now. It's so brilliant that I don't. And the one thing I'm really looking forward to doing is, the one thing I haven't done for a long, long time, is go on a roller coaster. That's what I want to do, because I went on a roller coaster a few years ago and I had to get off. They told me I was too fat. I didn't fit in the seat and they couldn't get the thing on me. That was one of the worst days of my life, and how humiliating to be told that and then escorted back off the ride. So I want to go back and I want to show everybody that, you know, now I'm just normal. I can just go and do things that all normal people can do. So thank you very much for listening to this. I know it's a bit rambly. I'm going to add in some pictures and just to illustrate my story. But I might talk a bit more about Slimming World, etc. as we go. I'm really, as I said, I've been struggling for a while, so I'm really trying to get back in the zone, as it were, by, you know, getting back on it, finding my willpower again, and just doing everything that I've done up to this point to get where I am. So I might talk a bit more, might do some recipes maybe, see what's up. But thank you very much for listening to me ramble, and bye.